How to access theta brainwaves and get into a theta state of mind. That's what you're going to learn in this video, so make sure you stay to the end because I'm going to give you 2 simple options that you can do at home for free if you stay to the end. So as I said, if you want to reach that theta state of mind, you've got 2 simple options and you've only really got these 2 options. There's many other techniques you can use, but they all stem from these 2 options. One is going from delta up to theta and the other is going from beta down to theta. So it depends which way you want to do it and which way you want to go with. And there's no one right way that will work the best, but there may be one right way that works better for you. So I would recommend trying both of these, but just go with whatever one you're drawn to most first. The first option that you have is hacking it through your sleep. And this is probably most famous known by Thomas Edison. In the experiments he used to do whenever he used to get stuck or blocked with his work, he would go and use this technique to go from delta back up to theta, which gives him the epiphanies, which gives him the more creative mind, which actually bypasses what is the critical mind. And effectively that's how you go into hypnosis. You bypass what's called the critical factor, which is the critical mind, and stops you from judging and just allows you to create and understand from a different level of thinking, that being theta. So as I said with this one, what you're doing is you're going from delta, which is deep sleep, and you're just missing out on deep sleep and going back up to theta. So you're going from effectively unconsciousness back to consciousness. The way that Thomas Edison used to do this was he would hold, so let's say he's getting stuck in his work. He's trying to do some experiment, and not to talk about how he stole Tesla's idea, that's not the point, even though I prefer Tesla. He would be doing his work, he'd be going in the science lab, doing whatever, everything like that. He then gets stuck. He then realizes, I have to come across a problem. And obviously he didn't even know that he was tapping into the theta brainwave here. He just sort of made it happen, which is incredible in my sense, in my opinion, because he didn't even know he was doing this, but he knew he was getting results of this. So it always also proves that you don't need to have it proven by science for it to work, which is something that I'm very passionate about. We can always go there first, and it's always proven before science, but when science proves it, it becomes more mainstream. So do it first, be the first one, be a pioneer. So he would go to his chair, his thinking chair, and he would sit down with a metal ball in his hand, and underneath his hand, he would have a metal tray. Now, just as he was drifting off into a deep sleep, he would drop the ball because all his muscles would completely relax. He would clear his mind from everything, all his muscles would completely relax, and he would eventually drop that ball just as he was going into that deep sleep of delta. Now, just as he was going into that, the ball would drop, hit the plate, make a lot of noise, and would wake him straight back up. As soon as he wakes back up, he goes from delta all the way back up to theta. And theta is that waking consciousness, is that sort of waking unconsciousness, consciousness where you're kind of there, but you're kind of not, you're daydreaming, and everything is more creative and you don't analyze, you just create. And this is where you can also manifest and create new things from. I've done it even this morning with being in a theta state of mind, which I will explain how I did this in the second method. And a person I was thinking about ended up coming back to me about working with me, which therefore manifested more money into my business. That was in an instant. Now this can happen very quickly. If you stay to the end, you'll find out exactly how in the second method. Because effectively what you are doing here is you're going from that waking consciousness down from beta to alpha to theta, then to delta, and then back up. So you're kind of skipping it out. And if you want to do this in any other ways, a great way to lucid dream as well, and I've explained it in other videos, and I think if you click this video, you'll be able to understand how to lucid dream. If you are in deep sleep and you set an alarm a few hours before you would usually awaken and then go straight back to bed, it's called the wake back to bed method, you can then go into that hypnagogic state where you're kind of there and you're kind of not, but you're dreaming, but you're awake, but you're asleep, and everything just doesn't really make sense, but it kind of makes sense, and that's where you can become very creative. So the goal with this is to not fall asleep and not do lucid dreaming, but wake yourself back up just as you are going to sleep, so you are going back into that theta state of mind. You're in that hypnagogic state, you're in a very sort of drowsy state, and then your body is coming back round while your mind is coming back round while your body's asleep. And that's where you're allowing yourself to be in this theta state of mind. So it's very simple to get here. It just takes actually doing it. This one doesn't really have much method. It literally is just wake yourself up as you're falling asleep and you'll be in that theta state of mind. That's how simple it is, I suppose. Option 2, which is my personal favorite. This is the way that I personally do it. And I have done it with the first option, but this is my personal favorite, which I do it every single day. And this is how I've solved many, many, many issues in my life, many problems, many solutions have come from this. Many video ideas that I've created that have gone viral on places like TikTok, on Instagram, or even on YouTube have come from that hypnagogic state of mind. being in that theta state of mind. So make sure you get to that theta state of mind and let me know your experiences by commenting down below. What have you experienced once you've tried both of these methods? Which one works best for you as well? Option 2 is basically just a deep trance. You've got hypnosis, you've got self-hypnosis, or you've got deep meditation. They're your 3 options to reach a deep trance. Now you can also do this through daydreaming, I suppose, but it's not really a fixated method. I would focus on those 3 if you really want to achieve reaching a theta state and actually make differences in your life from this theta state of mind. And this way is going from beta to alpha to theta. You're not hitting that delta. You're just dropping down through so effectively the first one you're going down to up, whereas this one you're going up to down. So you're going down, you're relaxing more until you reach theta. That's kind of the goal. There's not necessarily a time limit it takes to do this. I can't tell you in 10 minutes of you meditating or 10 minutes of you being in hypnosis, you'll be in theta, because for some people it could be instant, other people it could take a bit longer. So this is you finding out your sweet spot. This is just how I prefer to do it personally. So what you're doing is, if you're sitting in a meditative position, if you want to understand anything about meditation, click this video. And if you want to understand anything about self-hypnosis, click this video, so that then you can understand them in a bit more explanation as well. But what you're doing is you're relaxing your body from the beta waking consciousness down to alpha, which is more relaxed. Then you're going into theta. So the only way you can really do that going down is by just relaxing yourself, quieting your mind, and just not reaching that drowsy or the delta state of mind. So just as I was talking about how Thomas Edison would do it, where he would sit on a chair, what I would recommend is to not lay down and is to not sort of be too comfortable. I would recommend sitting up so that you know that you're not gonna fall asleep and go into that delta, because I don't personally hold anything, because for me that's more distracting, holding something and dropping it. So I'll just sit down and do it. But those are your 2 simple ways to reach the theta state of mind. And if you've got any questions, make sure you drop it in the comments below, and also subscribe.